Hello and welcome back to Organized-ish. My name is Leela and I just broke up with Erin Condren planners. I know, it sounds so crazy. If you know me, you know I've been using Erin Condren planners or just physical planners in general since middle school. So what am I using now? I went digital. Now don't click away. I know digital sounds super scary, but I finally found a digital planner that actually makes sense for me, and it looks and feels just like I'm using a regular physical planner. If you have written off digital planners because you think they're too complicated, watch this because I think you might change your mind. I set up my iPad screen so the GoodNotes app is up at the very top, and then when you go into GoodNotes, you can select the planner and it automatically goes to the last page that you were on. This is the custom planner from Planner Collective, and I chose it because it looks just like a physical planner. Since I've been using physical planners my whole life, the transition to digital was kind of difficult for me. I've tried so many other digital calendars in the past and I just couldn't stick with them, but this planner looks so similar to what I've always used on paper. You can see all the way down to the spine in the middle. Sometimes my brain forgets that this is an iPad and not paper. The Planner Collective custom option allows you to basically build the planner. So the way I have mine set up is I have this monthly layout, and then I swipe and I get a weekly layout, and then it goes into each individual day, which is a 2-page spread. All right, so we're just gonna start with the very beginning of the planner. This is like the cover of a physical planner. And then when you swipe over just using your finger, or you can use the pen, we have the page that basically tells you how to use it. She has a great video that helps you get started. And then you have the This Planner Belongs To page, just like a regular paper planner would. Then we have a dashboard. I haven't used this. I don't really feel the need to, but I do like that it's there. And then it does have some quick notes pages that you can click on to go over to. Then a couple of note pages, and then it goes into the month at a glance. So these are really good for just planning out your month. You can flip back and forth to this page. You can bookmark this page so it's easy to get to. But we're just going to go ahead and jump right into June, and I want to show you how to actually write on this planner. So we're going to tap on the button that allows us to be able to write. And up here at the top, we have a pen, an eraser, a highlighter, shapes, and a lasso. Now there's other things here too, but we're not going to worry about those right now. We're going to start with the pen, and I like to zoom in if I'm writing something because I do not do very well when it's zoomed out. My writing looks terrible. So I zoom in pretty tight by using 2 fingers and just spreading out like this. And let's say on June 4th, I have an appointment at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. So this is here. And the cool thing is, on a regular planner, if you were to write this and then your appointment changed to Wednesday at 8 o'clock, then you would have to mark this out or put a sticker over it. But we can take this lasso tool and we can grab it and just move it over. Isn't that awesome? You can also switch over, and of course if you want to erase it, you can do that too, but if you've already written it once, it's just so much easier just to move it over. So the pen does have quite a few options in GoodNotes, and you can kind of choose what kind of pen you want. I really don't mess with this too much because I'm just here to plan. I'm not trying to make it look really pretty. But another thing, let me flip over. So in the daily pages, this is where I do most of my planning, and this is the pages that I use most often. So we're going to zoom in here, and let's say that I'm going to film a video from 9 to 12 o'clock. There's a couple of ways that I can do that. I can write in filming a video and then just draw a line, but what I want to show you is the shapes. So sometimes I will do a line, and that shape automatically makes the line perfectly straight, so it doesn't matter how messy my line looked. And then I can also use those shapes to make little check boxes. So let's say I needed to do certain things, that makes perfect little squares, so I can write out film the video and edit and thumbnail and anything else. There's no way I'd do all this in 3 hours, but we're just saying. So that's there, or sometimes I like to use a square. And I will block out the entire thing. We can erase like this, or we can use the undo button. That works too. But I will make a box, and I'll just write blog block. Obviously I'm writing this pretty quickly, so my writing is not great, but when you zoom out, this is like a really nice square. And if I need to move this again, I can just lasso the whole thing, slide it down. I really like how these pages have the schedule, the top 3 priorities, the main focus, the to-dos, the move to tomorrow, which I always end up having to move something to tomorrow. And then I use the notes section over here for just making notes for myself. And then the memo is usually where I put my fitness tracking. So let me show you a page that has already been done. We're gonna go to April. Oops, gonna tap away so we can actually click the buttons, because if you're in that writing mode, you can't tap any of the hyperlinks. So we're gonna click into April, and April the 4th is a good one. So you can see here, I have my AM routine with the lines and the dots, the squares that separate each little block that I was working on, my top 3 priorities. I used the highlighter here to say the things that I got done. These things did not get done. These are just random notes that I took for the day, and I didn't even use the memo section. Another thing that you can do in here is you can add photos or stickers. You can click on the photo section and take a picture or pull one from your camera roll. They have some built-in stickers. I haven't used any of these, but I know they're there. Yeah. Okay, so we have stickers here. Say we want to use a little heart sticker, we can move that over, stretch it out. This is another option for, instead of using these squares, you could do different stickers here. It's really just like a paper planner aside from it being digital. Another thing that I really like about this one is it does have all these hyperlinked planner pages, but it also has all of this other stuff. So we've got these 5 tabs up at the top are notes pages, and you can use so many of these. You can duplicate, so you can add extra notes pages. You can go to the year tab and see the full year at a glance. And then you also have all these templates here. So for fitness, there's all these different trackers and progress pages. And then for productivity, you've got to-do lists and vision boards, project notes. All these things in here allow you to be able to have all these different kinds of notes pages and templates, and you can have them show up anywhere. Now, I will say that writing on the iPad took a little getting used to, but what helped me the most was adding a paper-like screen protector. And what this screen protector does is it just makes your screen feel a little more like paper. It's kind of like rough and gritty. It's not so much that you can't use your fingers on it, but it just makes writing a whole lot easier. I am usually writing a little slower so it looks nice, but here I'm just kind of sloppily throwing things on here. But the paper-like cover really made such a difference for me. But aside from that, it does take some getting used to, especially if you don't typically write with a stylus or an Apple Pen. Now, I know you want to know, how in the world did I get in the habit of using this digital planner? Getting into the habit of using just a paper planner is hard, and it takes time. And the digital, I think personally, it was a little harder than trying to get used to a paper planner. Because one, my iPad was always dead when I needed it. And so there were days where I didn't plan anything because either the iPad was dead or the Apple Pencil was dead. And I really had to train myself to plug it in. And then I had to train myself to look at it and use it. So what worked best for me was just putting it by the coffee maker in the morning. I have coffee every single morning, so it made sense to put the charger next to the coffee maker as well and plug up the iPad before I went to bed when I was prepping the coffee maker. I was already there, so I wasn't going to forget to plug it in because they're all in one place. So in the morning, while I was drinking my coffee, I would go ahead and plan out the day. Then, to remind myself to actually look at it throughout the day, I had reminders set in my phone. And I know this sounds crazy, but I had a reminder set at 9 a.m. to make sure that I actually looked at my planner just in case for some reason I didn't make coffee or we went out for coffee. And then I had another alarm set for 1 p.m. just to check in on the planner, and then another one set for 6 p.m. to check on the planner, and another one set for 9 p.m. just to remind myself to plug it up. And I had these reminders going, all these alarms on my phone, for the first 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I was good to go and I didn't need those anymore, but just having my phone go off and say, check your planner, that really helped me get in the habit of looking at it a few times a day. Now, I don't look at it at the exact same times every day like the alarm had me do, but it does just kind of, it's in the back of my head now, so I know to keep up with it. Now, what I do like about having a digital planner is I don't have to carry my planner with me anymore. Before, I would have to have my Erin Condren planner in my bag. I hated carrying a huge purse, and I hated even more carrying this chunky planner, but the GoodNotes app can be paired onto your phone, so you can do all your planning on the iPad, and then if you're out somewhere and you need to check your calendar, you can just pull up your GoodNotes app on your phone and you can swipe to whatever page you need to be on just to check your planner. I think that is super helpful. Now, I can't like write on it. I guess you can. It has like a text thing, so you can put the text in instead of using the pencil, but for the most part, if you're out, you're not really worried about trying to write in it. You just want to check and make sure that something is there or what time an appointment is. And speaking of appointments, even though I'm using a digital planner and I am putting them all in there and handwriting them all, I also still use my Apple Calendar. On your phone, you've got the calendar that just comes with the phone. And I highly recommend not ignoring that for appointments and time-sensitive things and birthdays, because sometimes you won't look at your planner. It's just normal, like on the weekends, or if you're off work and you just don't even have anything planned for the day, there's no point in looking at your planner. So if there's something important, you can put it in your phone's calendar and make sure that it has an alert set up to where it actually goes off and reminds you. I have missed appointments in the past because I didn't do that. So now my process is I will put that in my physical planner, but if it's something that's time sensitive, I'm also putting it in my phone calendar. I'm setting an alert. I will not forget it. I will not miss it. And that just really helps me pair the two together. So let's talk about whether this is for you or not. Having a digital planner is for some people and for others it's not. And for my entire life, I thought digital planners weren't for me either. It wasn't until I found this one that I realized that I can actually use them. And what I like about that is I'm not having to buy a new planner every year. I'm not having to find a place to store all of my old planners or a sustainable way to get rid of them at the end of the year. One that's not going to potentially get all of my personal information in the hands of someone else. And I don't want to sit there and shred every single page either. So when it comes to the wastefulness aspect, having a digital planner, it feels so much lighter and easier, and it feels good to me that I'm not just wasting all of this paper and plastic, and I don't have to waste anything now. I have nothing physical that's sitting out except my iPad, which I'm already using anyway. So from that standpoint, it's a winner no matter what. But if you are a person who is not great with technology, or you're a person who doesn't have an iPad or a tablet, I would not recommend doing this on your phone. Digital planners don't really do well on your phone. There are some different apps that you can use that are kind of just like your phone's regular calendar. If you're going to do that, just use your phone's calendar. There's no point in getting all these extra apps. There's no point in trying to use a stylus on this small screen to write on a planner like this. And if you're not really great with technology, this is going to be really overwhelming and you're definitely not going to use it like you should. Now, I would have said that it's not a great option if you like to doodle in your planner and decorate it, but there's so many options now, especially with GoodNotes. No matter what digital planner you use, you can draw in it, you can add stickers. There's even like digital versions of washi tape. It's really cute. So things like this really allow you to customize and move around, and you're not spending any money, which is great. All those stickers were so cute, but they were so expensive, especially the Happy Planner stickers. So having the ability to just download whatever type of stickers you want and just put them in there, it saves you a ton of time and money and trash. It's really great. Another thing to consider is if you use your planner like a journal. So having a physical planner that you're writing in every day, you're mapping out your schedule, but you're also kind of journaling as you go, you can do that in this digital planner. It totally works. It's totally the same. But there is just something about far into the future and you're flipping the pages and you're looking back at what you wrote. It just doesn't feel the same as flipping a digital page and looking at what you wrote there. You're still getting the same information, but the feeling is just different. So if you use your planner as a journal, I would recommend to continue sticking with paper. It feels better. It's not as easy to preserve, but you're more likely to look at it again. So that is pretty much it. That is how I use my planner. That's whether I think it's a good idea for you to try one or not. And I will link down below the exact planner that I got. It is a custom, so you basically go through the system and you choose what you want it to look like, what type of pages you want it to have. So yours might look a little different than mine, but I really want you to go in and play with the different options and see what's going to work best for you, because what I have set up for me may not be the best option for your lifestyle. I will absolutely make more videos on digital planning and how I use this planner, how I plan out my days and my routines. All that will come, so definitely look for more digital planning on this channel. Let me know down in the comments if this digital planner is something that you would be willing to try, and also if you are a digital planner user, please leave your tips and your advice for new digital planning users down in the comments as well, because we would love to learn from you. Now, in the meantime, I have a vacation to plan in my planner, and the next video you see from me is gonna be all about packing and travel stuff, and oh my gosh, we are like a week and a few days away from a big vacation. So I have a lot to do, a lot to plan. I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have the best weekend ever.